overclockers. Welcome. Oh, screw this. Where's A-Pack when you need him?
I've been looking to upgrade my house's internet to like a 10 gigabit for a while, right? And I was hunting down the back of the, through the Epic Lamp Flight cases. Yeah. Well, they're sponsored by Draytech, right? So I found this 10 gigabit network switch in the boxes.
What was it just going spare?
What? I don't know. But I don't know how I'm going to. I don't know how I'm going to fit this in my bag to get it out the. Oh, hi. Sorry, don't worry about that. Welcome back to Epic 40, powered by Intel, networking sponsor of Draytech. Tim.
Yeah, Draytech, and, for all your networking needs.
Yeah, exactly that. We've got a banger of a game.
Yes,
we have got a banger of a game lined up for you, and it's the two top teams that we saw coming into this.
This is the head match, the headline series, the headline match of this entire event. The two favourite teams, probably the seeds 1 and 2 of this entire tournament, Raptors and K10.
Yeah, exactly. I think that this is the matchup that when I was looking at all the teams before this coming into this event, is the one match that I really wanted to see, because it's two teams that are at the top of the UK scene. Obviously, there are other teams. We've seen Soulsland, who are making a pretty sick run through the tournament so far. But K10 Raptors are the ones that, on paper, going into this, were the ones that we wanted to be seeing towards the late stages.
You'd expect to see this as we still expect to see this as the grand final. We would have hoped for it to be in the upper bracket final. But due to the fact that the groups that they were in, they've still come top of their groups. They've not lost both of them winning their upper bracket game quarterfinal. We're now seeing them facing the upper bracket semi-final. So the loser will go down to the lower bracket semi-final. The winner will move on to the upper bracket final. But this is as we mentioned, it's the highlight match. These are the two best teams here by far, the two favourites to possibly take this whole event. You've got K10, who are on that cusp, at the top of main, at the cusp of qualifying for advance. Couple roster changes coming to it for them, again with stand-ins as well coming into this specific event. Raptors themselves as well at the top of advanced, the top of the UK scene after winning ESL UK Premiership, taking down the Kings, the reigning champions of Endpoint after Into the Breach sort of fell away. And they're also coming to this one with a stand-in. So both these teams, not necessarily with their full rosters, but personally, I definitely think Raptors, in terms of the stand-in situation, have come out on top of this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we look at the group stage run, right? Raptors went through; they didn't drop a single map going through that group stage. Or a couple of games perhaps came close, but yeah, we've got Adam standing in as the IGL, and he slots into this team perfectly. He's working so well with them, and they're showing really good. They're showing a really good game, frankly, in the way they've showed up here. K10, however, they did drop a map in the group stage. They dropped it to "I Need More Bullets," which I know you're familiar with that lineup, Tim, and we were stood behind them while that game was going on, and it was a good game, and they managed to edge it out. It was close. Like we're not saying that I Need More Bullets blew them out of the water.
The one thing I will praise for on that game, I Need More Bullets, who had Jin's IGLing, and we were stood behind him, and his CT side was called absolutely to perfection, the way he was gathering information and being proactive on that CT side, and it was just enough to take a map off K10 in that group stage. Not enough to knock them off that #1 spot, so they did come top of their group, and they have managed to make their way up to this upper bracket semi-final, where they'll be taking on Raptors here. But bringing back to that stand-in situation, as mentioned before, Adam 9130 standing in for Zodi. That's IGL for IGL. But Adam has played with this lineup before as a stand-in in the ESL UK Premiership qualifier, where they looked really good. They've been looking really promising so far already. On the K10 side of things, they've had a couple roster changes recently. 360 got picked up by ex-Coalesce, so he left the roster. They then brought in Biggin to replace him. Then just a couple weeks ago, Nino, their AWPer, left the roster. And in replacement, they picked up Flicky, but Flicky is not here, so they brought 360 back to play in place of Nino/Flicky. So they've got no AWPer, so Adam JC is actually filling in that AWP role.
And that's a bit of a change-up. I was chatting with both Fetis and Adam earlier. I was asking about how they're calling their strats, how they're doing strat work, because obviously they they've got a mixed team here,
Yeah.
but they've still got that same core. And he's basically said, like, I'm calling off the dome. Adam said, I was like, do you like? Because I asked him, have you bought any notes? Have you got anything written down? He's like, I'm calling off the dome. I'm just going for it and just sending it.
They do have their strat book. He did show me it. They've got that in there if they need it. And obviously, with Biggin coming in, he's been practicing recently, so he will be at least somewhat familiar with them. And 360 almost certainly will be familiar with the strats that they have after playing with them for so long. So it is a possibility for them to use them, but it's not a necessity, especially with people being slightly out of position with 360 and Biggin playing at the same time. But again, Counter-Strike is all about the fundamentals. Strats are there for you to fall back on. They're there for you to use as a gimmick, not for you to rely on. You should be relying on the fundamentals, relying on the defaults to set yourself up for those trades and just to play it out mathematically. And that's how you play good Counter-Strike.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing about this game as well, so it's upper bracket game, obviously. So this means the loser of this team, they're not out the tournament. If they lose this, they will drop down to the lower bracket. They've got a chance to fight their way through. But a big detail added to that is that there are much less games if you're going through the upper bracket. You can be more rested, you can be more prepared.
Even beyond that is that whoever comes into the grand final, like we mentioned, we're expecting both these teams to play in the grand final, but whoever comes to it from the upper bracket will have a massive advantage in the vetoes, as they'll be able to pick a map before any are banned. That's a massive advantage in the veto. And speaking of the veto,
I think we should have a look.
I think we should have a look. Now, both these teams have got a shared map pool, as far as I'm aware. We've got the Anubis ban coming in for Raptors, makes sense. Inferno, K10, it's their perma-ban. Raptors coming in with that Overpass pick. It's their best map, but it's also, again, a shared map pool between both these two teams. Overpass and Nuke, both of these maps are well played by both these lineups, especially with Raptors picking it up a little bit more recently. Ancient and Vertigo leaving Mirage as a decider.
Yeah, I'm liking the look of this map pool. Overpass, we see Raptors on it quite a lot, obviously. Yeah. And another map that has had dynamic changes with the HE mechanics, as all have. Nuke, especially. Obviously, we've talked about that plenty on the broadcast if you've caught us with it before. The same with Mirage. But Overpass as well, you still have options to blow the smoke in middle, for example, taking fights there into Fountain. You've got it on Monster. You can go for peaks there. We saw it yesterday with closing out a game. There was a HE thrown into the smoke. I can't remember exactly what game it was. But they threw a HE into the smoke. 2 players peak from both sides of Monster, getting a peek and closing out a match.
Now, with this veto, already I have to say Raptors probably the favourite team in this event, in this matchup, being the advanced level. But with this veto, I think even more so. Overpass is a map which is so strong for Raptors. With that replacement of Adam 9130 playing in place of Zodi, it's a perfect one-for-one role slot. As Zodi played that A anchor role, that A rifle role on Overpass, so does Adam 9130. He used to play it in all his previous teams, so it's a perfect one-for-one replacement. Not only that, it's a really strong map for them. I don't see a world where K10 can take Overpass off Raptors. So for me, it's going to come down to Nuke and Mirage. If K10 can take Nuke, their map pick, perhaps show a dominant start and catch Raptors off guard, then we go to Mirage, where it will be a much more even, brawly affair.
Which I hope we get 3 maps.
Yeah, 100%.
The 10 players on the server here, I think it absolutely requires 3 maps.
Definitely, especially for my fantasy points.
Yep.
I've got 3 players on the server. I've got iFan, Adam 9130 over on Raptors, and I've got Adam JC on K10 in my fantasy team. Now, like I mentioned, we expect this to be the grand final. I also expect it to be an upper bracket final for them to face now. Actually, that might be good for me because one of them is going to go down to the lower bracket, so they can
play more maps.
Yeah, they're going to be playing more maps and farm some more lower tier teams. So I might get some more points in my fantasy team here. So I'm looking to win that £100 in that Epic Land Fantasy. This is looking good for me. I'm hyped now.
See, he was invested enough as it was. Now his fantasy's on the line.
Now my fantasy points are on the line.
Fully invested.
Let's go! Come on! iFan, Adam and Adam. Come on, give me some points. I want to see you guys top fragging.
We'll be getting ready
That's what I want to see.
Kick this one off momentarily. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an absolute slobber knocker of a game, Tim.
Oh, yeah, it is. Like we mentioned, these two teams stacked with individual firepower on all 10 players. And we've got that advanced level experience from Raptors, and I think that this is going to be a really good showing, a really good test for K10 to see if they can compete, if they can hang with the best in the UK, to see if they are worthy of qualifying for that advanced spot and competing with some of the top teams in the world.
And I don't know about you, I feel like the switch to CS2 has brought a sort of disruption in terms of trading. I want to see a lot of multi-kills in this one. I want to see people showing up, putting some drip on it, and showing us some real highlights here as we're going to kick things off with our first map here of Overpass here at Epic 40, powered by Intel. Pistol round, K10 on the CT side. They've got 4 sets of Kevlar, a flashbang on JC, and Julie's dropped across to William and Big, and the double Julie set up a classic. 5 sets of Kevlar for the Raptors, and they're going for a bit of a default. 2 players outside B, and 3 slightly towards A. They're going to rotate back off towards B now, Tim.
Yeah, they're playing a little bit more reactively here, waiting to see if the CTs go for any set plays or any aggression for information. You can then try and punish them and make an informed decision for the late round based off of that. But for now, nothing's going to be given. Raptors still just waiting outside of Monster. Peak's going to come on in, information gathered, a couple shots traded back and forth, but again, no frags.
Crucially, that's a flashbang used. Flashbang now out of the way for K10. With a single flashbang on a pistol round, you want to place it perfectly. You want to set it up for the maximum possible effectiveness, and it's been completely nullified. Adam is closing the distance here on the A bomb site. He's managed to push himself all the way up to the dice. He's pivoting around. Shots exchanged. JC coming up to the bin. And Adam's backing away now, rotating off as Raptors set up for a monster pop. The contact play. MMS opens it up with 2. Regan comes in with a 3rd. Raptors charging onto this bomb site here. MMS doubles up. Vainzo left alone against 5. Picks up the 1st. Exchanging shots here. Trying to find a 2nd. Searching. Nothing landing. And it will be Awaken to close out the round. A decisive one out of Raptors.
And a big scream coming out from Awaken on that final frag. You can hear him across the hall. And that's a classic Adam 9130 call in terms of that. He sends himself as a lurk. You play it slow at the start. Sends himself as a lurk to get information, to make a much more informed decision, but also to try and pull out rotate. You could see it pulls a couple K10 players out of position exactly when Raptors strike towards Monster. They pull them apart. Now Raptors coming into this one. They've got a full buyer of K10 themselves. It's just pistols. The odd P250 brought up.
JC's going to be taking first contact. It's a bit of a stack over toward the playground. In fact, they managed to get pretty decent advanced positioning here. They managed to push down and close the distance a little bit, but Raptors still trying to keep that range up. And they are going to absolutely thrive. Not losing a single player, keeping all the guns alive. But K10 will be buying in the next.
Yeah, a very crisp, clean round there. You can already see the space and fundamentals coming into play from these experienced players on Raptors. Sending 3 players out towards Fountain, 2 players in towards Connector. Again, Connector is such a dangerous spot, especially against pistols, so you've got to send 2 players there to trade. You don't want to risk dropping an upgraded weapon into the hands of the CTs. Speaking of upgraded weapons, we've got 3 M4s, 2 MP9s for K10. Plenty of utility for them to take map control. We're starting off, plenty of utility actually being utilised towards this A site, including the molly and the smoke. Going to cause reinvestments to come out for Raptors. Adam 930 making a connected with the Mac 10. Classic weapon for him. Well known for his ability to use that gun. Finds the opening frag onto 360 already. Raptors working with a man advantage, and not only that, the utility almost entirely burnt for K10.
Yeah, it's the issue with going for that eco after losing the pistol round, is that you're limited very much so on the utility that you can pull out in the 3rd.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's showing up for K10 here. And they're fairly spread out on this A bomb site as well. JC pivoting in divider. He's going to get spotted and back away. Bigging out on long. And then there are 2 players on B playing together in a little bit of a setup.
Still just posturing. K10, they're not working with very much information. The only thing they know is the utility that's been thrown towards A. Still remaining stagnant despite a man disadvantage, relying on their setup. The bait and switch and crossfires on that A and B site. Raptors starting to posture towards this B site. 2 players towards short, 2 players towards Monster, with 1 coming in with that utility. Going to be a dry swing, and MS finds a frag. In fact, he finds a double. Multi-kill in his hands. That's the B site completely torn apart without a single frag on the board for K10.
Yeah, lovely couple of entries coming out of MMS. Raptors should be, K10 should be saving this. Biggin and JC, they've got these M4s as well.
Raptors going to hunt. They've got the cash to afford it, considering how clean the previous round was. They've only had 1 player die in the last 3 rounds so far.
And the fact that Adam's on that MP9 as well. Yeah. Potential to farm cash, and then if he gets a kill, he can upgrade to an M4.
And farm stats for my fantasy team.
JC at the top of Connector. Pivoting around. He's going to get cleared. Lovely shot from MMS.
It's just going to be big and to try and keep his hands on this M4A1S, but he's going to be slowly hunted down. Position revealed. Team's going to swing. He actually managed to find a double kill. Raptors, most importantly, keeping 3 players alive, continuing to build upon their economy. The majority of players surviving. Single M4 now for K10. Interesting to see how they decide to use this weapon, how they set themselves up. I want to see it, as I always say, set it up for success. Boost this rifle. Get him into an opening somewhere. Looks like he's going to be taking it towards B. 4 players towards B, including that rifle. Just 360, Deagle and Armor towards A. But it's a fast play for Raptors. It's a complete monster rush. Fully blinded. They catch K10 completely off guard.
Flash. iFan going down. Bigger now able to activate, but he's only good for 1. Traded out by MMS. 3 versus 3. JC next up with the MP9. MMS takes him down. Adam with a slam dunk onto William. Just leaves 360 with a Deagle and Armor. He might have slipped the net round through Monster. He's going to have to get a shift on if he wants to catch the timing. The swing comes through. Headshot. Awaken's head ripped off. AK picked up and recovered as well. Adam holding the angle picks it up. Raptors with a 4-0 start.
Yeah, it's a lovely call as well. Like we mentioned, with that M4 A1S saved, you've got to set it up for success. The most common idea of that on the CT side of Overpass is to set him up for a boost. Yeah. Boost him over that short wall to try and get a free pick as the T try and take short control. Raptors know this. They just rush Monster, catch them off guard, catch them in the boost. Now, yes, there's a stack, so the trades do go back and forth, but at the end of the day, they've caught the rifle off guard. It's completely nullified. Round number 5, got a full buy, much better buy for K10. Full M4s and decent amount of utility, but it's being dispersed early, and Raptors continuing this pace. I found a beautiful opening on the headshot onto Big, and an Awaken finds a trade onto 360. K10 now being torn apart. Just Adam JC left in the toilets on this A side to try and defend. But Raptors, they're going to be happy with this man advantage. They slow things down. They don't get over cocky. They decide to reset.
K10 going with a heavy play toward A to begin with. A player on long, 2 players in mid. Even still, the trades have gone the way of Raptors. And now they're just starting to walk 3 players down toilets. JC could have an angle because he hasn't been spotted yet. And they're not clearing him either. Picks up the first, doubles up, runs out of bullets though, and so he has been traded out by Awaken, but the job's done. He's equalised the numbers, 2 on 2.
2 on 2. There's some massively impactful frags from him to even out the scoreline. And William on the B site managed to catch Adam 9-130 off guard. It's just Awaken now left in the 1 versus 2. We know how capable this player is in the clutches. His position is known after throwing that utility. He's going to try and find and isolate the duels. He's done that really well by throwing down that smoke. Takes down William, sets himself up in the 1 versus 1.
Vainzo on the other side of the server. That smoke that Awaken's dropped has allowed Vainzo to pivot a little bit, but Awaken's out of there. He's going to reposition completely. He's heading all the way up to A. Walking his way up connector. Vainzo being proactive, pushing in. I like it. He's not looking towards connector, though, which is where Awaken has slipped away through.
In fact, he's got all the confidence here to just run knife out towards this A site. He knows that even if it steps ahead, he'll beat him to that site, especially how proactive Vainzo is being. And now the rotation comes on in as the bomb is planted.
Post plant from Awaken is toward toilets. Vainzo coming up the connector and he's making steps. I think these might be heard. Awaken repositioning, getting himself a nice off angle in the toilets. It's a tight cubby, tucked in.
And he's even heard the steps towards long. This is such good positioning from him. The bomb is slowly ticking down. There is a kit in play, but no smoke. It's going to be so difficult for him to try and even get this defuse off, regardless of whether he gets the kill or not.
Yeah, bomb ticking further and further down. Awaken is going to go for the swing, the shoulder peak. Validates. The Vainzo isn't on the bomb. Awaken swings out, secures the kill. Vainzo can't even save the gun.
Yeah, the 4K and the 1 versus 3, or 1 versus 2 clutch, sorry, for Awaken. And you can hear a scream coming from the crowd as soon as he gets that frag. 5-0. Raptors looking very strong on Overpass as expected. Coming into round number 6, and we've got the double Nova buy. That's it. We've been speaking to Adam JC about this Nova meta. We've convinced him to the side of the shotguns.
And I'm very happy.
Oh yeah.
If this is the round that K10 finally get themselves on the board, will have been validated.
Certainly so. Early B setup for Raptors as they posture towards Monster. The smoke's going to deter them from going for a pop.
Nova up close in the connector. Adam's going to be walking his way in. A headshot here will take him down at this distance, but Adam might have spotted the shoulder. Swings out, connects the spray. 360. Does do a bit of damage. Sort of wings Adam. Gets him down to 40 points of health. But that is an opening for K10. JC, the other player with the shotgun, lurking around the toilets. He is more toward long toilets here. He could get himself up close, but he's got no info on long, which means he's got to be aware of it.
Again, Raptors walking all towards Banana, completely ignoring these close, tight angles in toilets. This is where Adam managed to get a multi-kill in the previous round to keep things close.
He's going to hear this.
Oh, he's in such a good position on the flank with the shotgun. The utility's going to rain on in, and he finds the first. That's the bomb, completely isolated. Goes for the swing, isn't able to find a second. William, in this chaos, and managed to find a frag of his own on the 5-7. It's 3 versus 2. 5-7 comes in clutch, but Regan stays strong. Takes down Vainzo. It's just big and left in the 1 versus 3 with that MP9.
Yeah, going to be really difficult for him to get anything done here. He swings out, gets one, is immediately traded out by Awaken. Raptors is now 6-0 on the T side of Overpass. Quarter of the game already gone. K10 using their first timeout.
Yeah, you've got plenty of timeouts to work with. I think it makes sense for them to use it right now. You could have perhaps argued for them to use it earlier, but at the end of the day, they lost the pistol and they lost the first buy round. That's really two important rounds which were lost. Not really too much of a large amount, but the scoreline suggests otherwise. 6-0, and it's the first timeout. They've got to try and change their approach here. It seems that Raptors constantly able to find these openings, and as soon as they get these man advantages, they just close it out very swiftly, playing the strong fundamentals, the trade game, and not being too readable in doing so.
It's the impact of these pistol rounds now that we're down to just 12 rounds and a half.
And I think that this is one of the showings as to why Adam 9130 is such a good fit for Raptors as a stand-in. Because this map pool, Overpass is one of Raptors' favourite maps. It's arguably their best map. But the same for Adam. I know for a fact he's very comfortable with this map. He's a really big fan of it. At least historically so. Looking really strong here are Raptors. They're taking a lot of map control early. K10 choose to play a little bit more passively. They choose to go for a 4-man lean towards B, including a boost. They've managed to take short control, so there's a decent amount of information. But in this whole process, Raptors, they're confident enough to go contact 2 players in the buddy system up towards connector. They managed to get Adam 9130 into a forward spot. Players towards A and Fountain going to group up, and they continue to utilize this buddy system. Based off the information the K10 have gathered, though, they've cleared out B short. They can now rotate players up towards this A side. They now have 3 players towards A, 2 towards side, 1 towards long. It's a very strong setup. Raptors still have a lurker outside towards B, so the possibility of them going back down the connector is still on the cards. Not committing anywhere yet with 50 seconds left on the board. Plenty of utility to use as they've barely burnt any, taking the map control.
It's an ideal scenario for Raptors.
The molly's perfect to push off Adam. He's posted on short with that AWP towards connector. The molly pushes him off, but that's going to cause this rotation. It's also going to cause a reaction on A from 360. Gets information. The stack is now in play, but William not in a setup. Loses the 1 versus 1 duel.
Adam JC gets one with the AWP. Vainzo pops in with a kill. Man advantage for K10. MMS equalizes the numbers, charging in big and catches him, and he's doubled up. Awaken taken down. It's just Regan left in the 1 versus 3. Picks up the first, pivots round, looks for the second. Biggin gets it. A huge, impactful 3K out of Biggin. Yeah, the newest addition here for K10, showing just exactly why he was picked up to probably the star lineup in the UK in ESEA main. And I have to give praise for that information play. They started with a B lean. They went for a proactive play. They didn't go for the standard. They didn't go for the orthodox. Leaning towards B, take B short control. Then that enables you to rotate you with that information into a decent spot towards A. And Adam remaining with early information towards short enables that rotate to come on in. Multi-frags going large. Now, K10, though, with the damage done, they're still working with 2 MP9, so it's not the greatest buy here. Raptors going for a similar fast play. 360 with that MP9. He's managed to find one, but immediately traded by Regan. Yeah, lovely stuff. JC does pick up the kill onto Ifan. They're on long, and he's able to back away as well. Awaken searching for that trade. Just a bit too far away to pick it up. In the meantime, Regan might have just slipped through the toilets here. Shoulder peeking, working his way out. Managed to get a bit of a base here. It's Awaken. Spots Adam JC in toilets. This is going to allow Regan to collapse onto him. He's not going to be expecting this. Shot in the back, equalizing the numbers. Now reaction out of William, searching on the B bomb site. He's alone though. Pushes up, does get the kill onto MMS. Man advantage, risky play, pays off. Biggin swings out and takes down Regan. Awaken in a 1 versus 3.
Yeah, as soon as they get those opening picks, it all falls apart for Raptors as the players are a little bit too separated. Rather than grouping up and playing the game together, they take these isolated fights, which K10, they're not shabby. They're not shabby with their aim. They're going to win these fights.
Yeah.
It's just Awaken left. I mentioned it before. We know he's good in the clutch. He won that 1 versus 2 earlier. He has a strong likelihood of isolating the fights. There's only 1 player on this B site right now, and that's William on low HP.
Time is not his friend, though. 20 seconds left on the clock. He has been spotted now, and so he needs to activate. Swings out to try and catch William. Misses the shot. William comes out on top. Lovely couple of kills. K10, double up.
Yeah, finding 2 rounds here. The issue is with 6 rounds in a row for Raptors, their money still isn't that good. They have to go for a half buy here. A hero AK in the hands of Adam 9130, the IGL coming in as a sub. MMS, Tech 9, Deagle on Regan, Glocks on iFan and Awaken.
This set of utility out of Raptors suggests that they've got a plan in mind. They're sending a bit of a heavy B lean, but still a default with a player in Playground and a player in the connector. They're going to look to take a bit of sewer control.
Yeah, just hoping that K10 gives something up here, using these pistols grouped up together.
MMS was leading the charge there with the utility. If K10 decided to contest sewer control, there's potential that that's taken away, and then the plan is kaput. Luckily, it doesn't happen. They are going to take some connector control now, and they've gotten a lot of space for free. K10 playing respectful.
They've got a double HE stack. This could be perfect. Oh, the reposition. Vainzo.
Oh, he's
gonna
gone back.
in the spot. He's gone back.
He sees him, though. He doesn't
they
react.
miss. 2 of the miss. 2 of the HEs miss. Vainzo only goes down to 28 HP. So he stays alive. It's not a free frag gain for Raptors. And after those HEs, they're going to go for a boost. Making some noise towards Monster to draw the attention of these players so the boost can come on in. But the HE, the counter HE from K10 puts MMS and Adam onto half HP each. And that was just off a single HE.
Yeah, we see your nades. That will do one better with a single nade. They're going to start to close down through Monster here. Vain's are able to get one. Traded out by Awaken on the Glock of all things. William looking for the pre-fire. Overwhelmed. Trades back and forth. Man advantage for Raptors. MMS alone with 4 HP, but he's picked up an AK.
Adam JC is walking in with the AWP here, so if he misses the shot, this could be disastrous. Fortunately, oh, never mind. 360 just throws an absolute dunk of a nade from short that closes things out. Finishes us off MMS. And K10 get themselves a 3rd round.
Yeah, starting to close the distance.
The thing is, though, that round was really hard fought. Only 2 players survived for K10, but at the end of the day, it was a half buy for Raptors. They're going to come into this next round with a full arsenal of weapons. 4 AKs of Galil, plenty of utility. So they're going to really good opportunity to contest K10, but also potentially break that bank. And Raptors starting off things in that buddy system, going fast towards A, making sure they take that map control. It's a very large map, his overpass, and there's not much time to actually work it as the T's. So you've got to try and take it fast.
Going to be taking a bit of mid-control here, and they're walking a couple of players in. 360, he's playing a crack angle. Is he going to be spotted? He is. Attention given away, shot fired. Adam JC able to activate.
Oh.
Misses the shot close up. The no-scope lands. Looking for another one. Awaken shuts him down. Adam comes in with a kill, equalising the numbers. 3 versus 3.
The damage, so much damage done to Raptors right now. Means that any of these fights, single breath of wind could finish off Awaken. Fortunately, he's got that AWP, so he only needs to land 1 click of his own to land the frag. Raptors now just freezing, waiting to see if K10 go on any deep flanks. And, well, they have. William, he's deep in connector, but he's being patient. He's just holding down the rotations. He knows that if he pushes, he could give away the game a little bit too early. The utility comes raining on in to deny information, but a lovely swing from Biggin takes down Adam 9130, and that's going to deter these Raptors players back down into connector, into William's arms. He finds the first, it's just Awaken left on such low HP. Scared to find the frag, he's managed to, oh, he's throwing away his AWP. What's he trying to do here? He's got such little time. Might be just trying to save or go down. Yeah, goes for the swing, Biggin gets the multi-kill. Big round, and some screams come out of the K10 camp. Some trash talk even.
This is what I'm liking to... I want to hear this.
Yeah.
They're a bit quiet towards the start. Understandably, you're going down, but you don't want to get in your own heads. Now they're starting to build back into the game. The confidence is starting to come out. They're starting to shout. They're starting to talk a bit of shit. 2 rounds separating these 2 teams. K10 have a good potential here to tie up as Raptors down on Tech 9s and armor.
Yeah, some proactive information plays from K10 working wonders, showing that they can go head-to-head against this advanced level ESL UK Premiership team. ESL UK Premiership winning team, to be precise. But iFan getting aggressive. He's got so much information here. This is how overpass it is so dangerous for the CTs, is when you just walk in dry, there's so many possibilities, so many openings, so many gaps in the defense that you can abuse if you find the right timing, if you find the right spacing. K10, though, knowing they're up against a weaker buy, they're happy to just play a little bit more passively. But the thing is, there's utility in the hands of Raptors. Inside to pounce up Banana. getting spotted by 360, finds the first frag.
Taking a lot of damage for it, though. He's spraying away here, and a stray Tech 9 bullet from Awaken takes him down. Biggin allowed to activate, playing around the smoke, but the HE's blown open. Regan granted a trade there, and now a kill's come in from Adam on the M4, picked up. Adam JC pivoting around the truck. Williams come in with the AK, picked up a headshot, equalised the numbers. Adam 9130 leaving Adam JC in a 1 versus 2, and he's picked up yet another kill, clutching it out. 3 in the round. Raptors winning a Tech 9 buy.
That was such a dangerous buy, and this is why in this current economy you can never be safe in any round. Because yes, there was a pistol buy. It was pistol armor, and K10, quite in not necessarily incorrect way, they play a bit more passively towards A because they know that they can give up the ground and play for the site. The issue is because they had Raptors had all that utility. As soon as they take contact, they then go for sort of like a faux execute, going for throwing that utility on the site to lock out those rotations, isolate those fights. And I think that HE coming in, I think that was a CT HE which blew open the smoke, completely exposed Big, and he went down. And at that point, once those weapons are picked up, you can just snowball, you can swarm the site. That A site is so difficult to defend from the CTs if you don't have those numbers, if you get overwhelmed, especially towards truck when you've got an AWP.
Yeah, and if that was a CTH as well, it's a little bit frustrating.
Yeah.
Not quite coordinated. Your teammate's gone, oh, I'll blow the smoke, or even just throwing it for damage and not aware that now blowing open the smoke's a possibility. We've got a P90, Tim.
Yeah, we do, but we've also got an auto shotgun. Coming to the final round of the half, Raptors have secured a lead with 7 rounds, and it looks like going for an opening pick towards Monster. There's a big possibility of isolating this fight. Adam 9130, this P90. He actually gets taken down by the Mag 7.
Yep, the one-click ability of the Mag 7 reigns supreme here, and it's actually warded Raptors off the bomb site. MMS is out of there. He's thrown a nade. Turntail and Scarpered.
But in the meantime, he's found a massive opening towards long. He's taken himself all the way to this A site. The issue is there's 2 players in between him and the rest of his teammates. If they want to try and group up with him, they're going to meet the contact of Biggin and Adam JC. CZ still in hand, finds 1 frag.
Adam JC's location given away. Awaken falling back and establishing an impromptu crossfire here as MMS comes in with a bit of damage, and Awaken finishes the kill. Man advantage for the Raptors, and they've got the A bomb site. Ifan pushing all the way down into the stairs. Picks up William. And now it's going to be so difficult for Vainzo to try and retake this because he doesn't know how far Ifan's pushed. It turns out he's backed away, but he's going to have to take his time clearing every single one of these corridors out, and he's got no kit.
He's got no kit, but he's got a Mag 7. He's got a shotgun. Not that that's anything to go by.
Yeah, you can't shoot the bomb with a shotgun, Tim.
No, you can't.
It might go off.
I mean, I just want to see some shotgun shenanigans, you know.
Vainzo pushing in. He's trying to search for something. The 5-7 shot is going to give him away now. It should just be a matter of time. He's tapping the bomb.
Yeah, with 3 players alive, they can afford to spend players to go for these fights. And yeah, MMS going to take down Vainzo. Raptors secure an 8-4 lead here on their map pick of Overpass.
Yeah, K10 started a little bit of a comeback. You can see 4 rounds there on the timeline.
Yeah, they started to wake up. You could see signs of life, signs of the level of Counter-Strike that they can play and they can contest against Raptors. Hopefully, even if this map goes the way of Raptors, hopefully it'll be a good wake-up call. It'll be a good showing, a bit of confidence for K10 at knowing that they can play these rounds dominantly, they can play these rounds correctly, and use that in the following maps.
Pistol round. Adam JC with a smoke, 2 flashes. The rest of the team on Kevlar. Full set to Kevlar for the Raptors. They're going for a bit of a brawl, and they're sending... Is that 2 or 3 players? No, they've got a boost on B, 2 players pushing aggressive on long, and Awakens open things up.
They went for a flash peek to send a single player and William out towards Monster to go for the fights, but he immediately falls. It's now a man advantage in the hands of Raptors, and also no utility left for K10 to try and work with. They're going to be grouping up over towards Connected, but MMS in prime position, finds 1 and gets lots of information. Continuing with a 1-man advantage, Ifan is also in such a strong position here. If he gets this flank, this is going to be so annoying for K10. Finds the first, little bit of a laboured spray. But another trade. Vainzo finds a second frag, taking him down. Still, yet again, a man advantage for Raptors and information in their pockets. Ooh. Adam going for that swing, finds the frag. It's just Adam JC. No armor, as he was the one to buy the utility. Left in the 1 versus 3 clutch.
Yeah, let's see what it can work here. It's going to be a difficult one, regardless of wherever he goes. And his head is going to just get ripped off by Regan. A double stack out of the Raptors.
And a team ace. 1 frag each for all the Raptors players. They take the opening round of the second half, stretch their lead to a 5-round lead. 9-4 is the score.
Choice for K10 is to eco in this one. Didn't get a bomb plant, so they're going to eco, buy up in the next. And we can see that reflected in the Raptors buy as well. They've gone for these farm masses knowing that they've only got 1 round to farm cash on these SMGs. It's not like it's going to be a force buy coming in. Awaken doubles up, Biggin trades. That's an M4 recoverable.
But also all the information. Raptors are now going to rotate heavy. iFan with this MP9 wants to farm some cash and farm some fantasy points for me. 360 with just left in the 1 versus 4 with the Glock. And even then, he's going to get hunted down. iFan with a triple kill. That's my fantasy points. Let's go.
Double digits for the Raptors, converting the anti-eco after the pistol round, and now the score's starting to look a bit, well, it's starting to look just as one-sided as it was when it started.
Yeah.
Starting to break away. 3 rounds required to secure a map advantage going into the second map. Vainzo, early flash.
We've even got the AWP out already. This is a 3rd round into the half, and Awaken's got that sniper rifle. Very powerful weapon on overpass, and we know that he's no stranger to it. Already up to 16 frags, having a stellar game so far. K10 starting to work some map control early. They're going for 3-1-1 default, just flashing some players into the fountain, but the spacing isn't quite up to scratch. Doesn't matter though, because Adam JC catches Adam 9-1-30. IGL versus IGL frag, Adam versus Adam.
Gets a bit confusing, Tim.
Yeah, Irishman comes out on top though. It's an opening frag for K10. They've got an advantage. They decide to slow things down, decide to freeze for the frags. Smoke disappears in towards toilets, and Vainzo is going to take down MMS to continue this advantage in K10's favour. Yeah,
all K10 need to do now is trade out. Just need to group up, play together, make sure they trade these kills, and they'll be able to win the round, especially with a 2-man advantage.
The only way you can lose if you've got a man advantage, as I always say, is if you've not traded. I'm just going to wait, not get caught off guard by any aggression for starters. Raptors, with this 2-man disadvantage, they know they can't really afford to go for information plays. They're just going to go for this gamble stack. As I say, that information play does come out from Awaken towards long. He's going to clear that, but the 2 players stacked up on towards the A side. It's a prime position for iFan to farm me some more fantasy points with this MP9. Gets the first, gets a dink, and Regan comes in on the contact, finds 2 of his own. Keeps things equal, but Biggin and JC, they find the frags. Adam JC, well, I say that, Biggin holding that flank, managed to catch Awaken. A really diligent play from him. They've got that 2-man advantage. They can afford to have a lurk, and he's having a really good game so far.
He is, he's miles ahead.
16 frags, and he's the newest addition for K10. Bit more of the question mark as to whether he can, whether he can carry his way up against the heavy hitters of Raptors against those advanced level teams. And he's certainly showing that individually, statistically, he can.
And that's the benefit of that man advantage as well. 2-man advantage. They lost a couple of kills, and yet they're still able to trade their way back through it. K10 back on the board. 5-10 is the score line here. And the Raptors' economy not looking too great. iFan having to drop them to a 5-7. And contact here in middle. That's one of the M4s removed. Vainzo with the kill onto Adam 9130. Awaken playing in the smoke with a scout. Up close, it's not where this weapon typically thrives, but if you can manage to land a headshot, it's as good as anything else.
Biggin with another frag, punishing iFan's aggression over towards the B site.
Awaken's been spotted as well.
This is the exact same setup Raptors had before. 2 players up towards this A site in a passive in a bait and switch. Awaken looking in towards the toilets as the CT, but his position is known and he's stuck. He's isolated. He's firing shots with the scout and finds one against William. He's still staying alive, not doing any more damage. Regan comes into support and he finds one of his own, but again, trading. K10, the buddy system, their fundamentals are looking incredibly sound, and I'm so happy to see it.
Yeah, absolutely love to see it. MMS alone on the MP9. Teammates all been traded out. He's got 2 flashes, but I don't think that's going to help him too much with the MP9. K10 again consolidating, grouping up, making sure they can act as that death ball. MMS could get 1. He could even get 2, but the 3rd player will come in and get that kill. They've made their presence known now. Heading towards B. Utility raining in. Smoke on Heaven. Molotov on the ramp. They go for a bit of a split with Vainzo just holding down this flank.
Just throwing the utility, single person with grenades out, the other 2 with guns. Just to isolate those angles, make it a little bit easier for them to go for these fights. MMS looking towards long. He's going to pick up that M4A1S and most likely go for the save. Keep that weapon alive. Keep it kicking into the next round.
Yeah, it's going to be useful for their economy. They are completely empty when it comes to the bank balance. And so I'd like to see them, either they eco in the next round, which is probably the best choice. Go for an eco, build up that economy, and just set MMS up. You can boost him on the sandbags, you can boost him on the box, you could go for a triple boost outside sewer, you could go for a boost on map, overpass, boosts everywhere.
Yeah, there are. It's interesting if they go for the same setup that K10 did when Biggin had that saved rifle. They go for that boost. And Raptors went for a perfect counter of that monster rush. Be interesting if Raptors decide to do the same, K10, decide to take a leaf out of Raptors' book.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they set it up. Perfect eco territory, and MMS even has utility, and I love this. He's dropping it across to Adam, which means all he has to do is focus on his crosshair.
Perfect.
Get those kills with the M4, allow Adam with his USP to set him up for success.
Yeah, you don't want a rifle setting themselves up. Use your teammates. Spread your assets.
IFAN is burning.
Oh, this is the boost they went for. I love that one. Over the top of the connector stairs to see if you can see him to be short. Take a frag on a player going in through the pipe.
Need to scramble away though. Yeah. See, reposition this M4, which is exactly what they're doing. MMS heading down to the B bomb, so go for another boost.
Yeah, hopefully. Get some information. The issue is they completely left this A bomb site. And K10, they know they're up against a mismatch buy. Well, they're up against an eco, and they know they're up against a saved rifle too. So they're not trying to give anything away too early. Playing things methodically, 2 players working connector control with utility to clear out all these close cornered angles. At the same time, they've got 2 players working these longer range angles towards A. They can then group up and start working this map control.
Here we go. Double boost on the sight box. Perfect. It can peek into connector.
Assuming the door is open. But the thing is, K10 have already bypassed it. They've now got 4 players buddied up over towards the A site, now working toilets. But
it's a full rotation.
Yeah, the information they've got, the MMS has gathered with that M4, he's seen that, okay, sure, there's not really anything on shore, and if there's nothing shore, it's not likely to be B. They don't want to go through that choke point, so they stack all 5 players up onto this A site. Perfect time, right as the XU comes on in. In fact, they're just a little bit late. They're locked out. They're having to push through a smoke into a Molotov, and they all fall prey. Not a single trade frag coming in on in. MMS still with his rifle.
Is aware of 360's position, but 360 is going to pick up the kill with the Mac-10. So the rifle completely removed, Adam alone with a USP. It's going to be another round for K10, 7-10, 3 separating.
Yeah, K10, their fundamentals looking just as sound as Raptors did. The way that they're playing together in terms of buddying up, making sure everything is tradable, taking the map control, being efficient with their utility, not burning it too early, but also not saving it to the point where they're not using any to clear their angles, clear their corners. It's a really healthy balance for Overpass, and they are certainly putting up a fight and a good match for Raptors right now.
Yeah, I'm glad. I was a bit worried at the start of this game that it was going to be a bit of a whitewash 6-0 up, but it was that context of losing the pistol round and only actually really having 2 gun rounds in that fall.
And like I said in the pre-game, I wouldn't have been surprised, even if this was a close series, I wouldn't have been surprised if Overpass was one-sided.
Yeah.
Based on how I know how confident Raptors are on this map and how well Adam fits into their system on this map.
K10 going for another tactical timeout here. They know there's an eco coming out of the Raptors, so there's potential for them to set something up to dictate the pace yet again.
Yeah. Trying to make sure they make the most informed decision. How should they approach it? So far, they've been looking good. See if they continue these sound fundamentals. Maybe it's just a little bit of a team talk. Maybe Fetis coming in to give his input, the coach for K10.
Yep.
Avid user of Strapbox.
He is. Had a nice conversation with him about it yesterday.
The thing is, though, Raptors, their money wasn't amazing to start with, so their utility is rather thin to begin with, and now they've burned their initial grenades to try and block any potential rushes and work map control, and now they've got very little left. It's just 2 smokes, a handful of flashes, and a single HE. One of those smokes immediately gets burnt. There's 1 minute 20 on the clock, and you've got 1 smoke to work with, and that's on Regan.
Yeah, it's a difficult one.
The thing is, though, K10, they've not been working too much map control towards A. They're posturing in towards B short, which looks likely they might end up going for an early setup, for an early finish.
They have got William heading up connector, though, and 360 is in party. Veins are going to join him, so they're taking this mid-control.
They're turning back. They're making sure they work the map control, making sure that they can push and pull the rotation so they don't end up walking into a stack or end up walking into a superior setup. This is perfect. You've got the 2 players in connector grouping up, 2 players in mid grouping up, and now they all 4 of them form one big pack. Adam is a very nice angle to spot the shadows out.
You can line them up.
He lines up 2. That's so impactful. So much information and a man advantage secured right now for Raptors. Awaken on the site, managed to find one. A trade comes on in. There's Biggin continuing his dare, finds a frag onto Ifan on that B site. But Regan makes light work of things, takes him down. It's just Adam JC left in this 1 versus 3.
What a disaster for K10. Adam 9130 with that pushed up position. It's a pretty unorthodox, unless you've got a fairly heavy stack on the A bomb side, to be pushed up that far, because you're open to that toilet's angle from before, and he springs his trap at the perfect time. They're not even aware.
It's a really nice shadow angle, so even if they do peek him, he can see the shadow. Adam JC's not going to be able to get anything done. Too many players to deal with on that site. Raptors get themselves up to an 11th, and they push back against K10.
Could have been a really nice round for K10 to start to push closer toward double digits. Instead, the Raptors chomp down, consolidate the lead that they've got, keeping that distance. And they're right back on the rebuy, both teams. Adam JC's got the AWP out. T-side overpass. Full utility for both teams.
Leaning heavy 4 players towards B for Raptors, anticipating a mix-up. Anticipating a change of pace for K10. I think K10, they have changed the pace, but towards A, they're doing the same plan, but just at a different speed. They've taken this map control early. But Awaken now going for the swing. This time, Adam JC is ready. Doesn't get caught off guard from the same thing twice. Man advantage in the hands of K10. They've got that opening pick. They don't have too much utility to work with, but when you've got a man advantage, that's not your prerogative. That's not your priority. As long as you trade, you don't need the utility to trade. You need guns.
Yeah, you certainly do. It is a fairly heavy A setup for the Raptors.
Yeah, they're working on the back foot with not too much information towards B. If anything, it's a passive very passive setup. It's just Ifan, that B anchor on his own in towards the water, whilst they rely on a bait and switch towards the site. As I say this, Adam 9130 is going to get some information towards long. That might cause a rotation to come on in. Ifan, he's going to get some information. He does go 1 for 1, which isn't too bad considering his situation, but at the same time, he's the lone defender. You want him to get a little bit more than that. He's bought a rotation to come on in, but Vainzo, he's found a gap. He's found the perfect timing. Now K10, they're going to turn tail and run back towards this A site, but Adam, he's lying in wait.
Brilliant nice position. He's going to hear the steps as well. He's able to activate, and the trading isn't quite there. Adam, potential to double up? No. Traded out by 360. Man advantage retained for K10, and Vainzo in a beautiful position. He turns away at the worst possible time. MMS.
Such a good spot to lock out those rotations.
Adam JC, though, rips his head off through the wall. Now Regan left alone in a 1 versus 2. Location revealed, but he's also picked up a kill. Brought things into the 1 versus 1. He's up on 15 kills so far.
No kit. No kit in play, no smoke. This means this AWP can make light work of things. Stopping this bomb, but Regan!
Oh!
What a shot! This player is having a stellar tournament so far. We've watched games from him, and he's hitting some unbelievable shots all event long, and he's coming in clutch here. Absolutely puts Adam JC in his place to defuse the bomb there. AK versus AWP, just a single bullet's all he needs at that range.
He's just peeked into an AWPer on LAN with an AK and won the fight.
And it puts Raptors up onto map point here. What a promising start for K10. Suddenly falls out of their fingers. Oh my goodness. The trade's back and forth, and it comes down to that 1 versus 2 for Regan. What an incredible shot.
K10 using yet another tactical pause. After this, they'll only have 1 left, but if you're going to use it, you may as well use it before the map ends, because that's what we're looking at here. Raptors 12. Only 1 more required. Awaken is now on the AWP. He's got no utility. The rest of his team do. Ifan down on an MP9.
Looking to go for that reset, hopefully, mentally. They need to make sure that even though they lost that 1 versus 2 in a disgraceful, disgusting fashion at the hands of Regan, they need to make sure that mentally they're still in this game, because they're not out the series regardless of whether they lose this map.
Yeah. We am down on a Mac 10. The rest of the squad on AKs for K10. It's a decent buy. Very heavy early presence for Raptors. 3 players, 1 connector, 2 bearing down on middle.
K10 plays a little bit slower towards A. This time 3 players working the fountain. JC is going to find an opening with that AK, but Awaken and MMS trying in with a frag of their own. Man advantage now for the CTs of Raptors.
And the situation is looking pretty dire for K10. They've burnt all their utility. MMS has picked up yet another kill, but 360 is able to trade.
That's the thing, when it comes into it, man advantage, as long as you trade, the CTs are going 1-for-1, and that's good. But Biggin still on short. He's going to find one onto iFan, but Regan staying strong, staying vigilant with the headshots on that AK.
Needed that second one. 360 now left in a 1 versus 2. He has got the bomb, and he's got a bit of utility. He's got a smoke and a flash. And the two Raptors players are isolated. They're on different bomb sites, which means he can isolate these 1v1 fights, bring himself into a 1v1.
But it's such a forward position here from Regan. He's pushed it all the way deep into Monster. I'm not sure if 360 will expect this, even if he gets the bomb down.
Yeah,
plenty of time to try and find him. But it's such a strange angle, because if he peeks Monster, Regan's going to be so far back.
And he's got so many angles to clear on the bomb site as well. He has got 40 seconds to do it, and Awaken unmoving on the A bomb site, still holding this angle. But I don't think 360 is going to clear deep Monster, which means, as you say, that flank is going to be so constricting. He's planting for Monster, going for a smoke on Heaven. It's a nice lineup. Now Regan able to activate, closing the distance. 360 actually going to push deep into CT. Is expecting perhaps a double rotation, expecting Raptors to be grouped up.
Is the bomb even planted for
it's
it?
not.
It's planted default.
It's planted default behind the box. If he planted for Heaven and pushed down into CT, that would have been the prime counter to the Raptors setup. As it stands, he's going to have to fight his way back into the bomb site if Raptors get in. Awaken pushing his way in, spotted, taking damage. He can now get on the bomb, and there it is. Regan swings round, holds the angle, covers his teammate. They don't have a defuse kit.
There's no kit in play. Oh my goodness, 360's bought enough time. Raptors, a little bit too late to the bomb. I thought Raptors had that. I was about thinking about how I'm going to work the post game here. But no, we're going to continue. K10 get themselves an 8th round. They stay alive here. The fun's not looking great for them, not looking good for either team, actually. Regan didn't survive the explosion of the bomb, so it's just a single AWP.
But this is great news if you're K10, because it means if you win this round, you can break Raptors' money.
Yeah.
And then
it goes both ways.
Well,
I say it goes both ways.
It doesn't go both ways. They lose.
If Raptors win, K10 lose. So both sides going to be purchasing everything they have. Full buy for, well, I say full buy. Raptors forcing around this AWP in the hands of Awaken.
MMS is only half.
Okay.
He's on 1850. The rest of the team have forced up, so potentially he's saving to be able to drop an AWP across again.
Potentially.
But I still don't think he'll have enough.
The issue is K10, if they manage to string enough rounds together, if they've got the bank broken for Raptors, then this could be a tied-up game within the blink of an eye.
Yeah, absolutely. If Raptors do lose this one, they will almost certainly be ecoing the next round. 1900 loss bonus is not enough for Regan, Adam, and iFan to rebuy, nor Awaken. MMS just keeping that buffer, which I'm guessing, if they lose this in eco, means that then he will be able to drop that AWP. K10, assertive toward B to begin with.
That's a B stack. All 5 players, including that AWP and Awaken, stacked over towards B, and it's going to be a B pop. This could be absolutely disastrous.
Do a counter flash to Awaken, opens things up with the AWP. Biggin with the Mach 10, he's sprayed down 3. The flash allows Adam to pick up a trade, but it's a 2-on-2.
And the AWP is still in play.
Veins are closing the distance down. A lovely kill onto MMS, and Adam JC comes in with the final one. K10, that could have been a disaster, Tim.
That could have been absolutely disastrous, but it wasn't. Do you know why? Because of Biggin. He's up on 22 kills, having a lights-out performance, top of the server. He's out-fragging the ESL UK Premiership champions right now.
I have no idea how he managed that.
This is the newest pickup for K10. Came out of a lower main team into the UK scene, and he's absolutely showing well worth his weight right now.
Yeah, absolutely is. Keeping K10 alive in this one. They've been able to reinvest, and this is the eco that I mentioned. You can see MMS up on 3750, which means he'll be able to drop that AWP across to Awaken in the next.
It's another stack for Raptors, this time over towards A. 4 players in towards middle, 1 towards long. The flash comes on out. 360, 1-for-1 trade. That's information. K10 should now be able to react, lock that door behind them, prevent that rotations. B site completely clear. It'll take them time to get the bomb down because they don't want to rush things. But in doing so, it's going to enable Raptors to get ever closer. I found with that picked up, AK going to farm me somewhat at fantasy points, hopefully.
These pistols can pick up a couple of exits, save AKs. It just helps to consolidate the money a little bit more for Raptors. This one could go the distance. It's all going to hinge on the next gun round. iFan with the spam through the smoke. Picks up the kill onto Biggin, and now the pistols are starting to jump through. Adam JC, forced to switch to the Glock, is managing to clean things up. The counter flash, perfect.
Hello.
iFan's picked up a kill.
There's no time on the bomb, though. It's ticking down low. He's got no kit. He can't really defuse this one. Adam can just spend his life. There you go. No defuse, and even then, Adams JC lands the no scope.
Does the bomb go off? Is there enough time? No, the round
just
resets.
About before the bomb goes off. He keeps his AWP alive, but that's so much damage done to the K10 side by Raptors. Fortunately, they do have the funds. They're going to get 3 AKs out. Vainzo's going to have to make a compromise. In fact, no, got another AK.
But this is it. This is the round. If K10 win this, Raptors will have $3,000 per player to prevent them from taking it to overtime.
Yeah, this is absolutely it. I say this is it before we know what could happen. K10 win this round, Raptors on the eco, then end up winning on pistols.
Yeah,
standard UK fashion.
Adam gone for an early peek, catches Wien with a nade in his hand. Luckily, the other Adam, JC, able to trade things.
Yeah, and K10, they're going fast out towards long. The buddy system, 2 players capitalizing on that space. They know that there was contact made in connector, and the chance of if there's a CT in connector, the other CT player isn't going to be towards long. He's going to be close watching his exit. So they know that. They abuse long, rotate in. But Awaken, he's well aware of this. He's rotated back towards the side.
Oh, he's doubled up!
Double kill. Awaken, the Bulgarian bulldozer, finding multi-frags, keeping Raptors afloat on this CT side of overpass.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge for Raptors. K10 are now in struggle town. Outnumbered 2-1. Adam JC and Biggin, they don't have any utility either. It's just a single Molotov on Adam JC. A minute to work with. But they're going to have to isolate some fights here. And look at this push from iFan. Being proactive, working his way around. Slowly closing the noose on K10.
Yeah, iFan in a prime position to land some multi-frags if they don't walk into Regan's crosshairs first. Shifting down the connect, he's in such a good spot. And the trade potential is there. But no scope, quick. Quick scope from Adam. Lands that frag, that's that B site locked open. Fortunately, iFan has got this fast flank. It's still a really difficult situation. Awaken lands another stellar AWP shot, taking down the rival AWPer of Adam. Just big and left in the 1 versus 3. He's had a stellar game so far. Will he be able to close it out and continue his tear? Lands the first onto iFan. It's just MMS and Awaken left. He's locked in towards default. If he swings, he's going to get shot down by that AWP. Isolates the fight, but MMS wins it 13-10. First map going to be going the way of Raptors.
It's what we expected from the get-go, but K10 made it interesting. They made it difficult. They've made Raptors sweat a little bit.
Definitely. If they were able to make Raptors sweat so much on Overpass, Raptors' best map, then what's in store for us on Nuke?
Yeah, no, exactly. And Nuke is a map that has changed quite a lot. Yeah. It's the map that, despite having no structural changes, has probably changed the most with the switch over to CS2.
And if it definitly has. And Nuke is a map which Raptors, in more recent times, have been looked quite comfortable on. They've managed to get some decent upset wins whilst they were on their rise, which before would have been considered upsets. Nowadays, obviously, they wouldn't because they've proven that. So it's going to be a really interesting game to see if these two teams can see if Raptors can take it all the way. It
absolutely is. But we're going to have a little bit of a break before then. While we're here, actually, the other upper bracket game, I might as well fill you in. Make-A-Wish are currently a map up against Soulsland. They started really strong, and then Soulsland made a bit of a comeback but couldn't quite get it across the line on Anubis. It was 13-10. Either way, we're going to go for a break, and we'll be back with more K10 Raptors action once I've finished reclining in my comfy Noble chair. We'll see you after the break.
I'm searching for some sunshine. Just need one ray through the dark skies. I gotta look for the bright side. I know we're gonna be alright. I know we're gonna be alright. Just make it through another day. As these dark clouds will go away. I'm holding on to my faith. I know we're gonna be okay. Yeah, we're gonna be okay.
Hello, Overclockers. Welcome. Oh, screw this. Where's A-Tuck when you need him? Hello, overclockers, and welcome. Oh, screw this. Where's A-Pack when you need him?
And welcome everyone. We are here at the production desk for the Counter-Strike 2 series. Right, the casters are right behind me, Luke, the producer, is right behind me, and we're now in the middle of the upper bracket semi-final between K10 and of course the Raptors. A lot of us here at the floor have predicted that this was gonna be the final, but now they're already facing each other because they're on the same side of the bracket. First matchup, K10 actually managed to put 10 rounds on them on their favorite map of Raptors. So it was 10 rounds, still they lost, but now they're moving to Nuke. They are confident in their own abilities. Tree mentioned that if it wasn't because of his self-proclaimed trolling, that they would have been able to win Overpass. But on Nuke, they are confident in themselves. They don't really know much about Arctic Raptors, is what they mentioned. And they also said, we're not saving strats. We do not have any. So if you're a K10 fan, depends on how confident you get by that. Let's see if we will get Mirage on the third map. But first, we're going to get to Nuke with the lovely faces of Timo and Index as the duo Timdex. There we go.
Nice bit of insight there. I mean, he was also standing behind the Raptors a lot during that last game, and it was a closely matched affair. And he was saying that they finished the game and they took their headsets off in silence and just put them down. They were communicating still, but they clearly weren't happy with how close that map got.
It's really nice. That's one of the great things about LAN, is be able to get an insight into these teams, not just stand behind them and listen to their comms, but also listen to the mood in the camps. It's a really strong insight, as we mentioned. The Raptors, yes, we were hearing noise in the first few rounds, and Awaken was getting those clutches, getting his multi-frags. We were hearing screams coming out from them. Yeah. But he's quite right. That died down. That completely disappeared throughout the rest of the game, throughout the second half especially. And the mood of the camp, they're going to be not happy with that result. I know for a fact Raptors have got high expectations from themselves, both individually and as a team. They're going to expect the well, they would have expected that game to be nowhere near as close as it was. So one or two things are going to happen. They're either, well, firstly, they're upset. So they're either going to switch up a gear, full focus, turn around, reassess for Nuke, so that they can make sure that they win this in 2-0, or that tilt is going to manifest, it's going to build, and they're going to start not playing so well together, and it can start crumbling, and they might find themselves making a couple more mistakes, trying to win some rounds when they should be trying to not to lose them, and allow K10 into this series.
If you're just joining us, we are one map into this best of three in the upper semi-final. K10 taking on the Raptors. We're going to have a quick look at the vetoes yet again, just to see exactly where we are in this series. Anubis and Inferno bans to kick things off. Overpass was the map that we've just watched. That was Raptors' map pick, and as we said, it was close.
Yeah, 13-10.
Which we were expecting it to be a bit more one-sided. We now go into Nuke, K10's map pick, something they seem a lot more comfortable on. I was chatting with Adam briefly outside. He seems quietly confident. He didn't want to give too much away, but Nuke is going to be one of those maps where, especially he was saying as well, I don't think Raptors were ready for some of the random stuff that we threw in on Overpass. Nuke, something that has more meta, more gimmicks available.
The possibility of doing random stuff is blown even out of proportion on Nuke, regardless of the smoke changes.
And then Ancient Vertigo banned out, leaving Mirage as our decider, which again will be more random. And already the players are ready. They've come back in from their little break standing. I saw K10 huddled in the car park having a nice little chat. And I mean, Adam even said, like, we started shaky on Overpass as well. Yeah. He was saying that I was missing a couple of shots. So you think if they now that they're warmed up, now that they're ready to go at it, this could flip the series on its head.
Like, you ignore those first 6 rounds, and that's a 10-7 game in favour of K10.
Yeah. No.
Take away those first 6 rounds. So that's a really promising sign for this team. Has a strong possibility of being, well, for a start, they're one of the favourites. They're definitely the top 2, but I think most people, 9 times out of 10, you ask anyone, they'd pick Raptors to take this event. That showing is a strong possibility. It's a good reaffirmation for them to say, look, guys, we can do this.
Mm.
The Raptors are the favourite, and we almost beat them. If anything, we look like potentially the stronger team in certain moments. We can definitely take them down. We can take this whole event and count ourselves as Epic Land champions.
Yeah, it's a statement, I think.
Yeah.
And if they can build in here on Nuke, then we're looking at a 3-mapper. I hope we look at a 3-mapper anyway.
Yeah, it'll be an absolute banger if we get to Mirage.
I jokingly said to Adam on the way up, I was like, cool, we'll see you on Mirage then. He was like, we'll see, with a little bit of a smirk. So I think
I like that. It's sort of like he doesn't want to jinx it. He doesn't want to say, yeah, we're going to get it. It's sort of like, yeah, we'll see. Or take it as it goes. And that's one of the things I've got to praise about Adam. I played with him a little bit in ESL UK Prem when we were playing under a mixed team. And his mentality is really, really strong in terms of he doesn't give in. He's constantly communicating and he doesn't overstep himself. He doesn't think too much of himself without thinking too little. He stays quietly confident.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see where the scoreboard lands up as well. On the first map, we had Biggin, who we've praised him there, the newest addition to the roster, and he was matching Awaken, who's the top fragger for Raptors, both with 23 kills.
And MVP of ESL UK Premiership, Awaken. He's matched him.
Matched as the newest addition, coming from a middle to lower level main team.
Yeah.
Jumped up into K10, and he's already proving his worth.
Yeah, exactly. That it makes it. It just shows the level of Counter-Strike that we've got in the UK scene. When you find these talents, you put them in the right teams, you put them in the right environments to grow, and they can frag and they can shine. Let's see if they can shine on Nuke.
Let's see if they can. Pistol round buys are coming in. T-side is how K10 are starting this one. A smoke and a flash on Adam JC. The rest of the players on Kevlar, and Julie's dropped across to Wiam. Raptors going for a standard 5 sets of Kevlar, looking to brawl. Already a player caught in garage and stuck in a bit of a difficult position here. That's Adam. Flashbang is going to be ineffective, but he's stuck in this corner. They know he's there and know he can't move. Can he bait them into a bit of a crossfire? Awaken. There it is. Activates and takes down Biggin. The attention drawn. Regan down on the lower bomb site, playing behind the silo. A bit of an off angle, but he has been spotted. Closing down. Lovely kill. Adam 9130 has picked up another one. K10 just 2 players against 5. Not finding a single kill just yet. Adam even switching to the Glock. And Regan coming in to finish things off. Raptors clean pistol round, not losing a single player.
Yeah, going for a quick opening there for K10, fast towards Secret, but as soon as they lose that opening frag, due to Adam being in an unknown position, the rotations are then one step ahead. They can get down to that B site beforehand, and they just, every single angle they have to worry about. They have to go to worry about Regan on the site, worry about the vent rotate, worry about Adam behind them, worry about someone coming down the ramp. It's just too many angles and they get overwhelmed. Coming into the second round, no bomb plan. K10 going to go just for Glocks. Not a single thing invested by the looks of things. On the other side, Raptors, they've got 3 rifles, 2 MP9s. Playing with a door, potentially going for that slow round. We've seen this a lot, seen this in the last few years. Really prevalent when you've just got full Glocks to sit, wait the time, let the CTs burn their utility, throw their grenades. It means that more grenades are going to have to buy next round regardless of the outcome of the round.
Exactly that. MMS with a double kill. As the explosion out of the hut comes in, and a couple of kills found, actually. This might allow bomb plant, never mind. Adam comes in from main, make sure that doesn't happen. 2-0 for the Raptors, losing 2 players.
And it was 2 MP9s that they left. Awaken managed to upgrade, pick himself up to that M4A1S from his fallen friend. That means there's 3 rifles saved. We're going to continue that economy, and we've got the buy coming out for K10 now. We should have the AKs, and they've got loads of money, to be fair. Yeah,
we have got a disconnect from the server, Adam JC, perhaps. Couple of tech issues with his computer. CS2, it's a new game, it happens. Hopefully we'll get that solved, get back into the action as soon as possible. Wait to see exactly what the cause is. But Raptors with a clean start, and this will be the buy round for K10 as well. So you're going to want to make sure that your system's ready, pumped, ready to go, and setting yourself up for success here. He hasn't bought anything, so I think he should just be able to just join back in and carry on. I don't think we should need a match medic.
Yeah, which means it should be a nice, swift plug back in, and we'll get the game underway. Raptors already off to a strong start. Again, 1 map up after a close affair on overpass here on Nuke. Coming into K10's map pick, starting off strong, which is much needed if they don't want to get caught off guard by the K10 underdog.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's not forget K10 are the underdogs in this matchup, and yet they're having a fantastic showing.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, this is the second map of the series. Overpass was the first. It was a 13-10 K10. Very nearly catching up to the Raptors on their own map pick. And if it weren't for such a strong start, the Raptors went 6-0 to begin with. K10 could have been looking at taking the whole game.
And so far, K10, they themselves have been uncontested. Raptors, both teams, in fact, have been uncontested this entire series, with the one exception of K10 losing a map in the group stage to I Need More Bullets. That's the one exception. Outside of that, they've looked incredibly strong, incredibly formidable, barely even tested, dominant score lines. So these really are the two top teams to come into this one so far.
Yeah, and I think when we talk about that loss that K10 had to I Need More Bullets, it was fairly late on in the group.
Yeah.
Okay, it was about midday, so it was one of the last 3 games of the group.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get a bit tired.
Also a full sense of security after having some incredibly dominant scorelines beforehand. It was a 13-2, a 13-1, another 13-2, another 13-2, another 13-1, before they then had...
They got pressured.
Before they got pressured.
Yeah,
and again, like I mentioned in the pre-game, it was a masterclass call from Jins on that CT side of Ancient, which managed to get that upset. It was like, it's the exception that break the rules. You had to be... you had to go to that level. You had to play incredible level of Counter-Strike to actually upset K10 there. That it's the exception that proves the rule. If anything, they got upset by an incredible CT side. So if you don't have that incredible CT side, you're going to struggle against K10.
It was great being sat behind them, and we were both whispering to each other, oh, they should do this now. They need to rotate here. And we were whispering. Yeah. But then a couple of seconds later... Jins would they'd make that reaction. Jins would make a call, or the players would just group up and make a push themselves. They were playing really great Counter-Strike on that Ancient game, and I can understand how K10 dropped that map, because for a mix, they were playing incredibly coordinated CS.
But yeah, it's what people would call a life game. There's a life game out from I Need More Bullets. Like it's not a disrespect in that it's like, oh, you don't expect that to come out for them. But it's more of a case of they played all at their max potential, maybe not individually, but as a team, they played at their ceiling, and they only just beat K10 13-10.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Looks like the tech issues have been resolved here at Epic 40, powered by Intel. We're getting ready to kick things back off with this best of 3. Second map, 3rd round. And the AWP's already out for Awaken.
They're getting that one out early again. We've seen with CS2 with the move to MR12, AWP's coming out a little bit less frequently for the CTs due to, well, not being able to get them out so early. So some AWPers starting to prioritise them.
MMS tagged a little bit. Going to throw a HE through the smoke, which is ineffective. No one on K10 taking a lick of damage so far. They are going to reposition for a bit of an outside tape by the looks of things after this initial default, making sure there's no cheeky push into lobby from Raptors. They now start to reconvene outside. Smoke dropped. Adam9130 in a nice position here above Secret, though. It's an off angle. He should be good for at least 1.
Yeah, it's a strong shadow angle. I've seen so many multi-kills from this exact position. But he's been mollied out. This is perfect. Eliminates the possibility of that multi-frag. Gonna drop down safely into Secret. In fact, the HE,
it's perfect!
They wait. The smoke doesn't obscure the vision of the Secret stairs itself, so they can watch his potential escape. So they're like, well, tell you what, we'll just blow open the smoke whilst he's waiting inside it, and they get an opening frag. MMS finds an answer, though. Finds a frag through the edge of the smoke. In fact, no, that was towards lobby. That was a counter-aggressive push there.
The thing is, though, Awaken denied vision outside. He drops that Molotov. Might lull him into a full sense of security and not thinking K10 have gotten quite as far deep as they have. Now the utility starts to come in, blocking the left side of ramp off, and they're going to fight the right side. Raptors playing passive. And backing away even. They might be giving this one up and keeping the economy strong.
It looks like they are, especially with Adam JC taking down iFan. MMS walking towards T-spawn, his teammates walking towards CT spawn. It's got to be safe. That was a 4 versus 4. They took down the lurker in lobby, so they don't have to worry about that. They have the information. Yeah, they didn't rotate. It looked like the ramp player, who I believe was Regan, decided to go for retake B rather than rotating on down. But then you're 4 versus 4. You get locked out the bomb site, and they go, tell you what, we'll just save. Interesting decision to come out from Raptors. K10 going to get the first round on the board here much earlier than they did on Overpass.
I think the thing that probably justified that is that the utility was quite low on Raptors, and B-site is notoriously difficult to retake on Nuke.
Yeah, there's well, but I think both sides are quite difficult to retake. I'll be
that
honest.
Is true.
You've got a lot of angles to clear. every entrance to the bomb site for the CTs, there's so many angles you're immediately exposed to as soon as you walk through that threshold, which you've got to use so much utility to actually clear out effectively. Otherwise, you're going to walk into multiple crossfires, multiple possible bait and switches.
Benefit of Raptor saving is they've got the guns back out. Awaken still with that AWP. Adam playing at the back of Garage and a passive angle as well. He's just holding for players to either drop off main or walk round and peek into main, just securing that A bomb site flank. But it does give a lot of space for K10 to move here, and they're going to be boosting themselves up on top of boxes, making sure they clear all the close angles before they start to commit any further.
Yeah, playing things slow, waiting for a possible aggression, and jump around the corner. Awaken, holding for that angle, doesn't pull the trigger.
I think they spotted him. They might have got the question mark on the minimap.
They definitely would have. You could see 360 as soon as he jumped to that corner, getting that information. I mean, that's the whole reason for him jumping.
Yeah.
Because he knows it's a possibility. Early flash comes out for Adam to get some information. No K10 players exposed by that. The utility's already been whittled down for Raptors.
Oh, that looks like a bit of a missed smoke.
Might not be. They're wide enough. 2 smokes good enough. They get themselves down to secret and they're going to start moving.
Regan is rotating down. He's already on that B bomb site, and he's going to get himself into a position in dark. Potential for him to get one and hide. Wait for his teammates to come in. Awaken's the one to open things up. First blood found with just 30 seconds left on the clock. 360 eliminated. Able to reposition and hold the angle. Picks up a second. Regan able to activate. Biggin and Adam JC left in a 2 versus 5 with 20 seconds on the clock. And Raptors happy to wait them out. They know they've got to get that bomb down. MMS trades 1 for 1. JC left alone. 12 seconds. CT's rushing in. Nice headshot. Pivots.
Oh.
What a shot! MMS core looks for a tap on a third, but Adam 913 zone does come out on top. Raptors, 3rd round.
And that's the 2nd time in a row we've seen K10 go down towards that B site, and both times they've smoked off the left side of ramp and mollied the right side. But the issue with that is that an AWP or even a rifler can play behind that Molotov. They can hold the double window. They can hold across, and that enabled Awaken to get that multi-kill. If they smoked off that side, I mean, Awaken would have to, if he wanted to post up, he'd have to go towards the other side. Much more exposed angle. He can see less. It allows K10 to then get onto the bomb site without getting picked off.
Yeah, back when I was playing, the protocol was always we smoke the right side. You can bounce the smoke off the top of the wall on the other side. It bounces all the way across. Drop a Molotov in, you can get out control safely.
Yeah. Now, I will say, in the post plan, I think it makes more sense to have that left side smoke, but not when you're crossing, not when you're initially getting onto the site. You have to block off that vision so you can cross. Otherwise, they can hold safely, like Awaken just did, get a multi-kill before even Regan comes into it in dark.
K10 are going to be investing in this round, but down to a Tech 9 on Vainzo and Biggin on a Mac 10. There are 3 AKs still in play. Utility being deployed outside. A faster smoke wall this time. And a bit of that smoke actually blocking off the vision for Adam. HE's going to blow the smoke. No information off the back of it.
There is a gap on the left-hand side of this smoke, so they can see if any players get themselves down to secret. Quick spam through the smoke. In fact, the smoke's going to dissipate. K10 yet to actually use it. They're walking around to the left-hand side and close to the main. But Adam 913 with a triple kill at a perfect time. Lines them all up. More fantasy points for me. It's just a 2 versus 4. Biggin and Adam JC, no utility to work any map control to isolate these fights. Biggin has found a perfect time with this Mac 10 to get himself in towards ramp. Catches Regan off guard, who rotated left to assist outside.
Issue is he's taken so much damage away. Can you see he's just running in with the USP because he knows how low Biggin is. So Adam JC with the work to do here outside. He has been granted some space to move. MMS in main. And Adam JC's just tapped out Awaken. What a shot on the rival AWPer. Repositioned up onto a higher angle, and now he's spotted the shoulder as well. The swing comes in from MMS, and Adam JC catches him. Ifan, quick with the trade. Biggin still with this Mac 10. This is going to be next to impossible. He's going to have to catch Ifan completely off guard if he wants to pull this kill through, which might happen. Ifan seems fairly set on Biggin coming in. He's rotating now.
He's holding the bomb. Low HP. Ifan clears it. Gets the 1 versus 1 clutch. In fact, it was a 1 versus 2 with that trade onto Adam JC. Gets Raptors up to a 4th round. Starting to walk away with things here.
And you could see the play that K10 wanted to do. They dropped those smokes outside, but the way they landed was that there was a bit of cover to prevent to prevent the vision from Adam in a slip into main. The issue is they waited too long. The smoke's dissipated, and then they got absolutely shut down. The money, K10 are going for an eco. Upgraded pistols, the money's broken for Raptors, so any damage they can do here will be absolutely critical, but it's a bloodbath. They go for a vent pop, and unfortunately, kills all go the way of Raptors. Biggin and 360 remain. This is going to be a damage round here. They just need to go for as many kills as they can.
Yeah, just with these Deagles, see if they can land some lucky headshots. Find some openings, maybe some upgraded weapons. These MP9s at range aren't going to find much success themselves. But maybe the rifles can. Double AUG setup. Got Awaken and IFAN with one each. In fact, at range, Adam with the MP9. I eat my words.
He's got long barrel and the ACOG scope equipped.
I eat my words just like Biggin eats those bullets.
Yeah, 360 1v5. See what he can do with the Deagle. Again, damage is the name of the game. There it is, first kill, only on an MP9 player. He really needs to get one of these rifles. MMS, Awaken and IFAN. Force a reinvestment on a rifle and make sure it can't be picked up. It's
going to cause a reinvestment for Regan, who can't afford it. He's got nothing left in his bank account. Raptors do in the round 4 play surviving, so not too many reinvestments. The drop can certainly be made. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Adam drops over that MP9, goes for a rifle himself towards outside. In fact, no, someone else has dropped over a rifle. So 5-1. Raptors starting to walk away with things here.
And yeah, Adam has that MP9 outside, but there are options as an outside player to be dynamic and get close range. Dropping that glaive smoke outside and then pushing past the threshold up close behind these boxes. Vainzo taking space early on, and there it is. Here's the push from Adam, exactly called out. He's forced to back away, though, as the utility reins in, and Awaken just landing a spam through the smoke, combining with the dink from Adam, gives a man advantage to the Raptors.
Laying down the covering fire, and Adam almost thrives in the chaos with these SMGs close towards the smokes. He's going to fall off, get away with his life. Adam JC has managed to slip the net, get himself to a prime position.
Oh no!
Awaken with that AUG lines them up, and Regan coming in with the assist. Mows down these 2 K10 players. It's now a 5 versus 2. Raptors looking really strong here on Nuke, I have to say.
I'm impressed. 360 and JC make it just Adam, JC alone, and 1 versus 5. He's been making these clutches close, but unable to convert. Flashed off, pivots round. The knife comes in from Adam. Adam on Adam action. Raptors are 6-1.
And you can see how much Adam thrives in these start positions. Thriving in that chaos, even with the SMGs, is up to 11 frags here, playing outside. This is the IGL, the stand-in IGL for Raptors, also on my fantasy team.
Four Mac 10s is that, and a Tech 9 for K10. They might be going for something fast here. Looking to close the distance. There it is, smoke on the Molotov. Regan, it's an absolute blender. Biggin only able to get 1. And he is alone. 4 players on the other side of the server. Flash comes in, Biggin for the swing. Awaken picks him up.
Yeah, K10 barely finding any success wherever they go so far. Any of these fast rounds, they're just getting multi-kills. Raptors already set up with multiple players lying in wait.
Another tactical timeout.
You can see the amount of frags that K10 have on just in general. William is 0-7 right now. Vainzo with 1, 360 with 2, Biggin with 3. The only other fragger is Adam JC with 8, also on my fantasy team. Yeah,
and Adam was saying he had a slow start in the first game. He had, to be fair to him, he's looked incredibly crisp. The issue is there's not much backup, and tactically K10 are looking a little bit flat here.
Yeah. Nuke is not a default heavy map. It's not a map where your fundamentals are going to reign supreme. You've got to have these set plays, these openings to work map control. You've got to use those grenades to find something towards outside or get an opening in towards the lobby. You can't just group up and go for those trade kills, similar to how you can work map control on overpass. And it's coming into it here. K10 again with 2 stand-ins. Well, I say 2 stand-ins, 1 stand-in, let's be real. But 2 roll swaps, let's put it that way.
Opening. William on the board. Big kill. Man advantage. See if K10 can convert it here.
Flash comes out and it's perfect. Fully blinded. Adam, another multi-kill. Perfectly set up by Awaken. Completely demolishes Raptors K10 outside, but the reaction comes in towards lobby. Biggin found an opening onto IFAN. 3 versus 3 and the bomb site is there. There's the possibility of them getting their first central post plant here.
HE grenade dropped in, does a bit of chip damage. Nothing major. Regan here in heaven has now made his presence known. The attention drawn. Raptors setting up for a retake here. It's going to be a bit of a slow one. Plenty of time being bought. Already half of the bomb timer gone. Regan now exploding from heaven. Unable to connect the shots. Weeum has doubled up. Biggin with another headshot. Awaken alone with the AUG. He's going to have to save it. He's playing quiet.
He's got plenty of money, and the bomb will take him down, so it looks like he's going to go for exits. Keep the frags, keep the weapons out the hands of K10, force out the reinvestments. Bomb's about to explode. I think Adam will just get away with his life at 4 HP. Just about. Damage is done. And there, the heroics come into it. They get that opening frag towards outside, and a lovely reaction based off the timing of the outside hit from the CTs. Managed to take the A site. And this is where calling off the dome, again, like we mentioned, Adam at the moment is calling off the dome. He isn't trying to use his playbook, the K10's playbook, as least as possible.
Yeah, which it makes sense. They've got to stand in.
But on Nuke, it's so difficult to do that. You're not going to get away with very many rounds by doing that. They have managed to find a second. We're coming to round 10. Making things a little bit slow with a 1-4 default. IFAN finding an opening with that A1S. Awaken out towards a Squeaky, trying to get a frag of his own. In fact, he actually comes in towards main.
Beautiful.
They're complete opening in the defense. No one was watching outside whatsoever.
Complete wipeout. Yeah, Adam 9130 had been flashed into the secret stairs, but nobody was watching for that wrap in through main, and so K10 able to explode onto that A bomb site, leaving Regan now alone in a 1 versus 3.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly. The fact that Adam was down in the secret, there's no one watching outside because Awaken was with IFAN towards the Squeaky door, going for an opening pick of their own. Which meant there's a massive hole towards outside. They can just walk into main, catch these A-side defenders with their backs turned. That's exactly what happens. And K10 getting themselves a third. While Raptors have secured a victory on this half at least, K10 can still get as many rounds as they can.
I mean, they could still make it 7-5,
yeah.
right? Regan's having to save this because the money's not looking too good. One more round, Raptors' economy is going to be completely broken.
Yeah, it's how punishing this CT economy is, especially on Nuke, I feel.
It's again for that utility requirement, right?
You need that utility, but also it's so much harder to save, I feel, because of how Nuke plays out, with the way the Ts can flank and wrap everything. It means that the rounds often end with the Ts in brilliant positions to prevent the CTs from saving.
Yeah.
Single M4 saved.
Utility, we've just mentioned it. It is absolutely dire. MMS, he's got the auto shotgun out, Tim.
Yes, he does.
We love to see it.
4 M4s, they've able to empty their bank accounts to afford this. Regan could have dropped over an extra flash to one of his teammates, I believe, if he hasn't already. But we've got a Krieg out for Adam JC. He promised me this.
MMS up close, though, with that shotgun. It's going to be dangerous if K10 tried to go for a pop out of the hut. And in fact, he might even be closing the distance here, pushing into the hut.
But K10, they're playing things very slow to begin with, holding for the pushes, and as the time ticks down, Raptors going to be burning their utility. They're going to have very little for retakes, very little for blocking. It's 3 smokes and a Molotov so far, with 1 minute 15 on the clock. Oh, this is aggressive. Vainzo, he's tucked in towards Africa. Oh, no, wait. Is that playing inside main?
I think it's inside main.
Yeah, that's inside main. Sorry, X-ray fooling me.
Confused by the X-ray. It happens. Smoke's been set up by K10 for what looks like an outside.
Double swing from outside, and Awaken lands a disgusting shot to take down 360. He's going to continue fighting, gather more information as the smoke can come on out.
Vainzo tapping away, attempting a trade. The Raptors keeping that man advantage secure, backing away, and this time the explosion towards ramp, 1 for 1. Swing comes in from Adam 9130, and Awaken comes in doing a lot of damage to Adam JC. And MMS, in all the chaos, has pushed his way through the hut, and he's closing down on Radio Room.
Adam JC 7 HP with the bomb. Being hunted, a single shot, a drive-by from MMS. $900 in his bank account, and he upgrades to the SG553. It's just Vainzo left. Bomb, again, not in his control in the 1 versus 3. He's managed to slip the net, getting towards ramp room. No players actually watching that, so he can shoot MMS in the side of the head and pick up the bomb. He's going to do exactly that. MMS caught off guard. Bomb now in his control. Is he going to expect a speedy player? No, he's not. IFAN close it out, secures himself a 5th frag. Raptors get themselves 8 on the board.
Yeah, lovely stuff to stabilise. They're being proactive with that information outside, picking even a kill up. This is an even more secure half. 8-4, I feel like has to come through here. If you want, 8-3 is fine, it's enough. Or 9-3 would be fine, like it's enough if you win the pistol to be able to springboard yourself back in, but ideally you want that 4th extra buffer round, just to give you a bit more breathing room as you go onto the CT side. This game's not over yet.
Auto shotgun play for MMS now towards the lobby. We got 3 players making some presence on this A site, see if we can find a pick. Sorry, make that 2. X-ray again, fooling me. No, it was 3. Players just dropped down the vent. K10 working 4 players in the lobby. It's just Vainzo working outside control. He's got plenty of space to work with. No one's actually watching it. He's finding a gap. No one's actually doing anything whatsoever. Gets the frag, but MMS finds 2 on the auto shotgun. Makes that 3. Awaken coming in towards heaven, finds one of his own, and it's just big and left in the 1 versus 3. Is the auto shotgun reign supreme? K10 having to trade against the alligator of a weapon.
Absolutely love to see it. MMS making it work. Thumping away with that auto shotgun. 9-3 at the half. Raptors firmly in the lead. But a pistol round could change the tide of this game. We're not settled still with exactly how CT and T-sided these maps are. And I feel like with the added changes of the HEs on Nuke, and as well as just the fact that Adam JC's having to call off the dome with not his full roster, now they switch onto the CT side. They could settle as long as they get a good start.
Yeah. This side should be much stronger for K10. I mean, that's the defensive side. Gonna come to it with a kit and dropped over Julie's for K10. On Raptor's side, it's just a smoke and a flash. Shifting over towards ramp. 3 players, just holding a passive setup in lobby. Setup seems to be heavy top site for K10.
Smoking the main from MMS outside. Looks like Vainzo might be looking to go through it. Adam on top of the main entrance.
He's made some noise to make it sound like there's multiple people on top of main. That's interesting. Playing the information game. Flash is going to enable him to drop down. Again, classic Adam 9-1-30 pistol round. Make his presence known outside. But he does fall victim to Adam JC.
And the steps will have been heard on ramp as well. They know the Raptors are heading down to that bottom bomb site. Vainzo rotating in quickly. MMS has gotten a headshot onto 360, equalizing the numbers. It's taken a lot of damage. But the bomb has now been planted. Luckily, we've got that kit in play, but even still, K10 going to have to get the running shoes on and get down to the B-bomb site. iFan's picked up a headshot onto William and Awaken, taking down Vainzo. 2 versus 5. Adam JC coming in, picks 1 up with the USP. Closing down on the silos. Regan here in control room. Biggin holding the angle onto Decon. Spots a player. Now they can start to activate, but Raptors doing a beautiful job of buying time. Adam JC's gone. That's a diffuse kit now out of the hands of the CTs, and Regan with Julie's closes out 10-3.
Yeah, again, it's a consistent pistol round play for Raptors here. Every single time we've seen them, it's Adam being set up in a solo position to draw attention, get information, whilst the rest of the team are ready to pop somewhere else. Exactly what we see here. It's flashed out towards outside. They pop it towards ramp. The B site is theirs. K10 rotation's not quite there. They're going to come into this one with a force buy. We've got a Scout, 3 Deagles, and a Nova. Raptors taking the duels outside of greater weapons with these rifles. See if this Scout can find some headshots. He finds the first, takes down Regan.
Lovely stuff out of Adam JC on the Scout, trying to reposition and find another headshot as he's being closed down on MMS, running straight through the garage and taking deep control into CT into hell. iFan, he's got a kill onto Vainzo. Outside completely lost for the CT side here.
Yeah, the trades came on in. Raptors brawling outside, assertive once they lose that frag. 4 versus 3, and with these current K10 weapons, they're just huddling inside the site. It's so difficult, especially with that Nova, for 360 to push, get information, try and find a 1 versus 1 duel. But they have decided to react towards lobby, getting that information. This means that they can set up on the sites, a strong position, not having to worry about one side of the assault.
Yeah, it should be the primary reaction. Once you lose so much outside control, you have to try and close your angles down. Yep. Pushing into lobby is an excellent way to do that. Raptors are going to work their way in, though, and 360 next to fall. Biggin and Wiam left against 4. Biggin eliminated. Wiam falls in tow. 11. Just 2 rounds remain for the Raptors before they take the series home.
Big triple kill from iFan.
Yep.
As I mentioned, 2 rounds away from taking it to the upper bracket final, qualifying for HLTV and guaranteeing themselves top 3 placing. K10 though, 8 rounds behind.
Yeah, fighting from behind, and they've gone for another force buy. Nova, Scout, Deagle, Mag 7, MP9. Absolute selection box of weapons, and actually it's the Nova to open things up. iFan doubles up, but then traded out by Adam JC. 3 versus 3. Adam JC's taken a lot of damage. Regan down the vent is going to recover the bomb. Making noise. Is his location given away?
William is waiting down here with this Mag 7. He's in such a strong position. MMS, though, with the HE dunked onto Adam. 3 versus 2.
Oh, he didn't check his corner. Regan, unexpected in that position. Can now get that bomb plant down, and Biggin will fall. Raptors on map and series point here on Nuke. And who would have thought, looking at the veto, that Nuke would be more one-sided than Overpass?
Yeah, no, who would have thought? It's a difficult situation. Again, this is K10's map pick. They had a really close showing on Overpass, the pick of Raptors, but it seems like Raptors, they've switched into another gear here, especially, as mentioned, in the opening few rounds from Adam 9130, multi-kills towards outside, really set them up with a strong set of rounds to start the momentum dominantly. Now again, K10 still on this force buy. It's shotgun, MP9s, Scout still on Adam JC's hands. Raptors just happy to sit in the back of the lobby. See what they can find, see if K10 give anything up first before they make a decision. And they are pushing towards outside, but Raptors, they're ready to react, ready to pounce towards ramp where 2 players lying waiting.
Broken things up, but 2 kills come straight back for Raptors. A third 360 in Vein Zone now left against 4 to try and scrape K10 back into this game.
This whole time, Adam just holding down that vent rotation as ramp hit comes on in. 2 versus 4.
Seems like just a matter of formalities at this point. Vein Zone creeping his way in, caught by MMS. 360 going to have to go nuclear. He's so far away, no defuse kit, drops down the vent. Location given away, exactly that. He'll have been heard. Raptors now react, reposition, contain this threat coming in from 360. Awaken, tapping away at Decon. And there it is, Adam 9130, the one to close it out. 13-3.
Yeah, a very dominant showing on Nuke, on their opponent's map pick of all things. And again, I'll mention it just a couple rounds ago, I'll mention it again. Adam 9130, huge impact on that CT side with the multi-kills, being supported by Awaken, setting him up perfectly to succeed, the stand in the IGL for Raptors.
Yeah. And, I mean, there it is, yeah. Raptors are going to be moving on. They're going to be carrying on in the upper bracket. K10, they're not out of the tournament yet. Still potential for a rematch later on in the tournament. They're going to drop down to the lower bracket, but they're going to have to fight their way all the way back through. Yeah.
And we should have the upper bracket final coming up next, which will be between Make-A-Wish, which is LVN, Zai, Vacancy, Igorek, and Zyreme, versus Raptors.
Should be an absolute banger. So, we're going to sit back in these noble chairs, perhaps go over to the Intel stand and play on some fancy computers.
Yeah.
And we'll join you after the break. See you at 5.
Hello, Overclockers, and welcome. Oh, screw this. Where's ATAC when you need him?